Stop everything you're doing right now. What I'm about to reveal will shake you to your core. There are 6 invisible chains wrapped around your mind that are stealing your dreams, crushing your potential, and keeping you trapped in a life that's smaller than what you deserve. Napoleon Hill spent 20 years studying the most successful people in history, and he discovered something shocking. Every single limitation in your life can be traced back to just 6 basic fears. Right now, at least one of these fears is running your life like a puppet master pulling your strings. But here's the game changer. Once you see these fears, once you understand how they operate, you can break free and unleash the unstoppable force that's been locked inside you. Let's unlock the secret to mental freedom that 99% of people will never discover. 1. The fear of poverty. Fear number 1 is the king of all fears, the fear of poverty. This is the most destructive and most difficult to master. And when you see what this fear does to people, you'll understand why it's the ultimate dream killer. This fear doesn't just show up when you're broke. Oh no, it's way more sinister than that. It shows up when you settle for a paycheck instead of pursuing your passion. When you play it safe instead of taking the leap that could change everything. Symptoms of the fear of poverty. Indifference. You've given up fighting for more. You accept scraps when you deserve a feast. Indecision. You let others make your money decisions while opportunities slip through your fingers like sand. Doubt. You tear down successful people instead of studying their blueprint for success. Worry. Finding fault with others. You spend money you don't have, trying to look rich instead of building real wealth. This leads to nervousness, lack of poise, self-consciousness, and lack of self-reliance. Overcaution. You're so afraid of losing that you never give yourself a chance to win. Focusing on the negative, talking about failure, knowing roads to disaster but not plans to avoid failure. Procrastination, the dream killer. You delay, you excuse, you wait for the perfect moment that never comes. This fear literally paralyzes your ability to reason. It destroys your imagination. It kills your self-reliance. Today, this fear has millions of people convinced that wanting wealth makes them greedy, that playing small keeps them safe, that mediocrity is noble. It's a lie that's keeping you prisoner. Here's your key to freedom, and it's so simple. Make a firm, unshakable decision about exactly how much wealth you want. Not what you think you deserve, not what seems realistic, what you actually want. Write it down, make it specific. Then pursue it with the relentless determination of someone whose life depends on it, because it does. There can be no compromise between poverty and riches. You're either moving toward wealth or accepting poverty. 2. The fear of criticism. How many times have you killed your own dreams because you were worried about what people might think? How many brilliant ideas have died in your mind because you were afraid someone might laugh? The fear of criticism is the silent assassin of greatness. It's why you dim your light to make others comfortable. It's why you follow the crowd instead of blazing your own trail. Corporations make billions exploiting this fear. Why do you think fashion changes every season? Car models update every year? Because they know you'll buy the new version to avoid looking outdated. Social media has turned this fear into an epidemic. People are literally addicted to likes and comments, desperately seeking validation from strangers. Symptoms of the fear of criticism. Self-consciousness. You're nervous, timid, can't look people in the eye. Lack of poise. Your voice shakes, you forget names, you agree just to avoid conflict. Inferiority complex. You use big words to impress, copy others instead of being authentic, brag about fake achievements. And the cruelest part? Parents often plant this fear in their children through harsh criticism, creating wounds that last a lifetime. Here's your freedom formula. Put your foot upon the neck of the fear of criticism by reaching a decision not to worry about what other people think, do, or say. Wake up to this truth. The people whose opinions you're worried about are too busy worrying about their own image to judge you. They're operating from their own fears and insecurities. Make this decision right now. Your opinion of yourself is the only one that truly matters. 3. The fear of ill health. 75% of people visiting doctors suffer from hypochondria, imaginary illness. Your mind is so powerful that fearing disease can literally create the symptoms you're afraid of. This fear creates a vicious cycle. You worry about getting sick, which creates stress, which weakens your immune system, which makes you more likely to get sick, which proves your fear was right. The symptoms that make you sick. Autosuggestion. You constantly hunt for disease symptoms. You try every health fad. You discuss illnesses and accidents obsessively. Hypochondria. The habit of talking about illness, concentrating the mind on disease, and expecting its appearance, often leading to a nervous breakdown. Self-coddling. The habit of feigning illness to gain sympathy, avoid work, or serve as an alibi for a lack of ambition. And here's the double whammy. This fear often links to the fear of poverty. You worry about medical bills, creating stress that actually damages your health. Here is the prescription for freedom. Acquit yourself of the fear of ill health by the decision to forget symptoms. Focus on health, not sickness. Exercise with joy. Eat with gratitude. Get checkups without obsession. Your body responds to your dominant thoughts. Make them thoughts of vitality and strength. 4. The fear of loss of love. This is the most painful of all 6 fears. Because it doesn't just hurt, it destroys. It plays more havoc with your body and mind than any other fear. This shows up as jealousy without cause, desperate people-pleasing, trying to buy love with money you don't have, or completely losing yourself in relationships. The real problem, trying to get your worth from someone else instead of building it within yourself. Here's the counterintuitive solution that sounds harsh but is pure liberation. Master the fear of loss of love by reaching a decision to get along without love, if that is necessary. This isn't about becoming cold, it's about becoming whole. When you can be happy alone, you become magnetic to others. When you stop desperately needing love, you start naturally attracting it. 5. The fear of old age. At what age do you think you'll start declining? 40? 50? Here's the shocking truth Hill discovered. The fear of old age makes people mentally slip at 40, when your most powerful years mentally and spiritually are between 40 and 60. People start apologizing for being old at 40. They kill their initiative because they think they're over the hill. They try to dress and act younger, which often makes them look ridiculous. The fear of aging accelerates aging. You become what you expect to become. Accept old age not as a handicap, but as a great blessing which carries wisdom, self-control, and understanding not known to youth. Age brings experience that money can't buy, perspective that youth lacks, freedom from illusions that torment the young. Instead of fighting age, leverage it. 6. The fear of death. The final fear, and for some the cruelest. Hill traced this directly to religious fanaticism, designed to control people through terror of the unknown. This fear, based on pure speculation, has filled mental hospitals and destroyed countless lives. Here is the ultimate freedom formula. Accept death as inevitable, then find a burning desire for achievement, backed by useful service to others. When you're fully engaged in living, you don't have time to worry about dying. Death is either a transition or peaceful sleep, neither worth fearing. All 6 of these fears are nothing but states of mind. And states of mind can be controlled and directed. The antidote to every fear is identical. Make a firm, definitive decision. Not a wish, not a hope, not a maybe someday. A decision that shakes the foundations of your soul. Decide to accumulate wealth without worry. Decide to ignore critics and follow your vision. Decide to focus on health instead of sickness. Decide to be whole whether you have love or not. Decide to see aging as wisdom gained. Decide to live fully instead of fearing death. These fears have controlled humanity for thousands of years. Kings, peasants, rich, poor, they've all been prisoners to these same 6 mental chains. But you, right here, right now, you have the power to break free. You know what these fears are. You understand how they operate. The only question left is, what will you decide?